Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I have yet another orchid spotlight about this pretty Lycaste aromatica. So Lycaste aromatica has been found in nature growing in many environments, being able to adapt very well at multiple conditions. It can be an epiphyte, an lithophyte, or occasionally a terrestrial orchid species. This is a sympodial, medium to large sized, cool to warm growing orchid which can produce multiple spikes per each immature growth. This orchid is a deciduous type of Lycaste, meaning it will lose all its leaves each late autumn when it will go into dormancy. This orchid starts to form the flower spikes from the base of the new immature growth in the spring. The blooms are a medium-sized, about 7 cm in diameter. Each spike holds only one bud, but each growth can produce multiple spikes, so you can have quite a nice display. The color of the blooms is very attractive. The sepals are more of a greenish-yellowish color, little bit translucent, while the petals have the most interesting phosphorescent yellow. Even more, there are some very funny little hairs on the top of the sepals and petals, though mostly on the throat, making this orchid very desirable, as hairy flowered orchids are not a very common occurrence. The hairy lip continues the fancy traits of this orchid with its strong yellow color, doubled by just a few reddish little spots on the interior of the throat. The blooms have a nice fragrance, smelling like a very well done cake with cinnamon and clove, with a top dressing of propolis glaze. The bloom season of this orchid is spring, when it will break its dormancy period and start some new growths from the old leafless pseudobulbs. Lycaste aromatica requires bright shade, about 2000 to 3000 foot candles. More light is usually provided as the new growths start to appear at the base of the pseudobulbs. As new growths get bigger and bigger, the light levels can be held to 2000 foot candles, as the leaves get quite big and thin and too much light can burn them. This orchid produces ovate compressed pseudobulbs that carry 2 deciduous thin leaves. The fully grown leaves measure between 25 to 30 cm in length and are about 8 to 10 cm in width with a pointy tip. As the leaves brown up and fall in the late autumn, it is time to give the orchid less water. The leafless pseudobulbs possess 2 to 3 apical spines after the leaves fall, so you should be very careful when you manipulate this orchid. The roots are thin and healthy roots are dark brown to black, but still stiff. When in active growth, they can have bright green tips. New growths usually appear at the base of the pseudobulb when the plant breaks out from dormancy and take about 4 to 5 months to mature. Propagation of this orchid can be done through division. Each division should have at least 2 fully grown pseudobulbs for a fast growth further on. I also have a repotting video for this orchid, so you can visit the info card in the right corner of the screen if you want to learn how to repot a Lycaste aromatica. As a conclusion, this orchid is very easy to care for and can bloom easily with a minimum care, so I think you may want to consider this one for your next orchid purchase. Thank you for watching. If you have liked this video and you found it useful, hit that like button below and subscribe to my channel because I post new orchid videos every single Monday and Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.